IVM.
Yes, it's all available on Storytel. By all, I mean great books. Some have changed my life. One which comes to mind immediately is, and don't laugh, Right Body for You. That's right. A book I read from start to finish. It didn't change my body, but it changed my look at how I look at my body, which is I don't look at it anymore. But Right Body for You will help you gain the kind of figure or physique that you want. I know this is true because I've gone and seen people change in front of my eyes. That's because I used to work at a tailor's shop, but that's another story. Right Body for You. So keep in mind that if you go through storytel.com/IVM, you get a 30-day free trial as against a 14-day free trial on the link. All right, it's very simple. All you got to do is log on to storytel.com/IVM. Millions and millions and millions of stories, many written by me. All that and more. Find it all on Storytel. Kripaya dhyan dijiye. The language used on the podcast may not be fit for consumption. We warn you, tread carefully. But listen, yaar, don't be so conservative.
You're listening to Cyrus Says.
Growing up, big fan of Sanjay Manjrekar. He refused to come on the show, but he's sending his daughter, who is a left-hand batsman, right-arm fast bowler, but more importantly, a super chef. Her name is Devika Manjrekar, and apparently Bing. Let's find out on Cyrus Says.
Why follow your auntie's advice when you can follow Cyrus Says on Facebook and Twitter to stay updated about the latest shows?
All right, on Cyrus Says, announcement to make. I'm going to become a motivational speaker. I've decided that's my future from now on. I'm very good at motivating people. Positive energy. Just the other day, in fact, the start of Ganesh Chaturthi, the first day, my chauffeur called in and said it should be a holiday, so he won't be coming in. And I told him no. You work on this day and you're ahead of the pack. Everybody else is bunking and wants to take holiday. You don't really celebrate Ganesh Chaturthi. You don't have a Ganpati. So, why? He's from North India. So anyway, to cut a long story short, he didn't come yesterday, and he probably won't come for another few days because he's really upset. So my motivational speech worked the other way. So what I'm saying is I still have the ability to get something done by being a motivational speaker. It's called Cyrus Says. We'll be right back.
Hi guys, this is Ayushi.
And I am Ritasha.
And welcome to Agla Station Adulthood.
It's a fun podcast we've got going on, and we'd love for you to tune in and enjoy with us.
Join us as we stop at various stations and discuss different topics that seem to be bothering us and hopefully
Dating,
you as well.
Relationships, beauty, just being an adult, lots of different things.
We don't have a great grip on it, but we've done okay so far.
Catch Agla Station Adulthood every Thursday on the IVM app, the IVM website, or wherever else you get your podcasts.
Devika, first, a lot of respect. Welcome to the show. Respect because of your surname. I'm sure you've heard that a lot. I'm an absolute cricket lover. I love the game. I have seen all 400s by your dad, all in adverse conditions. I have a lot of time for him as a batsman. I think he's completely underrated cricketer and didn't get his due, partly because he was Vijay Manjrekar's son and partly because of, whatever, other reasons. But I think he was pound for pound one of the best batsmen we've had. Patterson at his best, Wakar and Wasim at their best. I mean, he played the best fast bowlers of a generation, and he played them better than any other Indian batsman. I won't name them in the team as far as I'm concerned. And today, when I watch the Ashes going on, where there's a bit of it for the bowler and you see the batsmen are struggling, you realize that we've lost the art of batting. And Sanjay Manjrekar is probably the last knight in the art of batting for me. There are a couple that come to mind immediately, like maybe Alan Border to some extent, Larry Gomes to some extent, but they are slightly ahead. He's slightly after them. So for me, Sanjay Manjrekar is huge. And I think one day when I write my book of Indian cricket, I will give him his due. Because those 4 centuries, Zimbabwe, West Indies and Pakistan, difficult conditions, that's where it really counts. Not to make fun of those who made hundreds in India, but some of them were really easy. You just turn up, you bat, you don't even notice you're 115 not out. The bowlers give up. They come from foreign countries, it's 45 degrees, the crowd is heckling them, the ball is not even bouncing. They've lost interest. So just to put that on record firstly. Manjrekar, what a fantastic surname. Really, lot of respect. Now that you want me to go on talking about your father and not you, when I was a young boy, I remember there was a Raju Kulkarni benefit match. I was about 17 or something, and Sanjay Manjrekar had come to the CCI. All the Mumbai guys had come to, show respect and help their fellow man and whatever. And I actually went and shook his hand and was like a gawking fan. It was very sweet and very nice. Of course, 5 minutes later, he had a fight with a watchman, which the famous Manjrekar temper came out, and he walked out of the exhibition match. Then Raju Kulkarni came and brought him back, and all that nonsense. Because I think Raj Thackeray was coming, and there was a lot of these guys in safari suits who were standing there, and they're actually stopping cricketers. So, which brings me to my other problem. I hate these bodyguards in safari suits.
Yeah.
What the hell are they doing? It's for the Mumbai fraternity. One of the cricketers is retiring. The other guys are coming there to support him, and you're stopping them at the gate.
Yeah.
I think that security guard should be given 25 years rigorous imprisonment, or made to stand in the nets without a bat when Shoaib Akhtar was bowling, something like that. All right, enough now about father.
Yeah.
And shall we talk about grandfather? Because I heard great stories about Vijay Manjrekar. He was like the man's man, and he was like another time in cricket. Why don't you go for a walk?
I love how you asked
I'll just talk about the Manjrekars. Meet the Manjrekars.
Yeah.
All right, let's talk about the most famous. One day the most famous of them all, which will be you. Devika, first and foremost, you're a chef.
Yes, I am.
Okay, born and brought up in Mumbai. You trained at Le Cordon Bleu in London.
Yeah.
After which you studied in Mumbai and London for a few years. Okay, so take us, why did you come from a sports family? What does mom do?
Mom is a homemaker.
A homemaker, all right. So where did the food thing come from?
Food thing came from watching too much MasterChef Australia.
Are you kidding?
Literally that.
Television?
Wow.
Why
Just watch too much of it.
Why is everybody always talk about Australia like it's MasterChef
Because it's the best one.
Yeah.
All the others are like drama and like they're mean to each other
How does India
unnecessarily.
rank?
Huh?
How does the India
I
version
haven't
rank?
even watched it because Akshay Kumar was in it. So,
One day Sanjay Manjrekar will meet Akshay Kumar at a public function and he'll remember this.
yeah, I'm rarely associated with my father though, because it's quite shocking that if they don't know the last name, then why will anyone think, no?
Anybody knows cricket knows the last name. Anyone doesn't know cricket doesn't know the last name.
Correct,
it's like that.
Correct.
But there's also Bing. We have to come to that. We'll explain that quickly now.
Yeah, I'll
Let's
explain
finish it off.
So it was Bing for a while because I was a huge Friends fan.
I knew it.
Chandler.
It was that Matthew Parry, and we were joking about this before you came in. Offline, we were joking about this. I mean, everybody must have said the same thing.
Yeah, no.
So you let out Bing.
Yeah, and Manjrekar
Are you a
wasn't
comedian
there.
or a chef?
I'm very funny. I'm damn hilarious. If I didn't have stage fright,
chef.
I would be the greatest stand-up.
So you let out Bing.
Yeah, and then no one knew for a very long time that it was actually Manjrekar. So they thought my actual name was Devika Bing, and I should have let it
but
be
which
like
Indian
that.
surname is Bing? I've never heard
I don't know.
it.
But people believed. Like a lot of them thought, where are you from? And it was like fun.
And you like Matthew Perry's character the most, is it?
Yeah, of course.
Wow, what are you
Of
saying?
course, best.
Your dad and mom knew?
Huh?
They knew about the Bing?
They knew.
They laughed?
Yeah, they laughed.
Didn't take it seriously?
No.
What is the reason for this? I still don't understand. Are you mad? Why would you? You've got a nice colourful name, a famous name for what it's worth and all that.
No, but then this happens. Now you spoke about them only for so long.
Only idiots like me. Parsis in cricket are a different breed altogether.
Acha, I didn't know this.
And we like all the old names more. We always got that thing about that Zamana was better.
Yeah.
And it was.
Pre-independence was better.
I'm not that old. Not Vijay Merchant. Vijay Manjrekar. Please check. Please check the references.
All right.
My God. So you just leg out Bing like a naughty girl, just like a school prank.
Yeah. And then so it was fun when I wasn't working. So once I started going for meetings and stuff, and people just saw Bing and they're like, so.
Devika Manjrekar, are you mental? You're going for meetings, looking for finance, sponsors, whatever, and you're actually effing around with the surname.
So I was like, maybe I should change it to the.
What if they give you a check to Miss Bing, 50 crores? You're screwed.
50 crores, yeah. So I thought I should change it back to the OG surname.
OG? Original.
Yeah. You know nothing?
No, I don't know.
Okay.
I don't know. I'm younger than Sanjay, but I'm not young enough. God.
Yeah, I'll use some of these so you learn for next millennial guest.
No, I've got 2 kids. They don't even talk to me. Forget ASAP. Right, let's get back to the whole lineup here. So you just watched MasterChef. This is the truth.
Yeah, this is the truth.
And you like, which, I forget their names.
Gary, Matt and George.
So the bald guy is?
George. Yeah.
Then the fancy dandy guy with the cravat, Matt. He came to India. I saw his
They
visit.
all came to India.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, they were nothing to do over. But they're always here.
They come very often.
So who's your favorite?
My favorite is Gary, I think.
The bald guy.
No.
Huh?
No, yeah, the third one.
Rewind the tape. Kaun hai Gary?
Third one.
The other guy, like in the tennis, the one no one remembers. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay. So he's the sweetest guy on the show, right? With the black hair.
Yeah.
Sort of
now
nondescript.
it's white because.
But he's always the one who says nice things. He never goes into a.
Yeah.
So you just watched it. Did you try making food at home?
I did. it wasn't great. But I tried. First, I started food blogging, which was
This is the new thing.
Then I was 17, so I was in college. So I started food blogging, and then I was like,
So which college?
St. Xavier's.
Xavier, and there's no catering and all department there. Huh? I was also Xavierite many years ago. I can't remember.
Yeah.
So there's no question of home science class.
No,
or anything like that.
nothing. So I was doing sociology and literature.
Like all of us at Xavier's, degrees will make us fortunes. They promise us sociology. Cross in it, yaar. Then?
Yeah. So halfway through that, I realized that I wanted to do this. So I went to Dublin in the summer for a 1 month cookery course to see if I like it.
Thank God Daddy's doing commentary here.
Oh, yeah.
1 month course in Dublin.
Yeah. I did this. And then I realized I loved it. It was very rigorous, like 9 to 5 every day for a month and all. And I came back and said I want to be a chef. That Steve Jobs movie had just released at that point where he dropped out of college to become...
You're a 70s fascination for me because movies and TV are the inspiration.
Yeah.
It's amazing. Yeah.
So then I came home and I was like, guys...
And your point being he dropped out of college?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I wanted to drop out of college and I was like, it doesn't matter if I become a great chef when I'm 40. I need to do it when I'm young. And
But isn't it something that people earn their stripes after a few years anyway?
That's thoda old.
Who's a young
school.
chef who's famous? Like really young? Are you? Okay. No, but you've got a different path.
Yeah, that's true.
You're more like an
Niche.
entrepreneur chef.
Yeah,
I'm talking about the famous for their cooking skills alone. Like Gordon Ramsay or whatever. I'm not too good with these names.
Yeah.
But they're all older.
Yeah, old. But I wanted to be young
Sanjeev
and great.
Kapoor is 83. Black hair, black moustache.
83.
And dosto. He's so sweet.
I think the mustache is gone. But
Gone? Oh yeah, it's gone now. That's right.
Looks very odd.
Are you attacking an old man who started the business in this country?
I'm just saying it. He looks very...
Your batting is far more aggressive than Sanjay's. You're more Shrikant than Sanjay Manjrekar. Are you Shrikant's daughter or Sanjay Manjrekar? I can't make out. Huh.
Yeah, no, he looks odd without the mustache. Let's agree.
God, you really don't pull punches. What fun. If both of you are on Twitter, you need a legal team. Are you on Twitter?
Yeah.
Oh, God.
We had this whole thing where he tweeted about me blocking him on Twitter, and then it became like a huge thing.
Who blocked you?
I blocked my father.
You blocked your father?
Yeah.
And he blocked Michael Vaughan, the ex-cricket captain of England.
His Twitter controversy is a different level.
Ajay, not Ajay, Ravindra Jadeja. That's a story for another day. Yeah. We'll discuss this if we have time. Get back. So you went to Dublin, you came back then?
Then I was like, I want to drop out of college and pursue my passion, which is cooking. And then my mother did full emotional blackmail. Like, I've never asked you for anything.
Has she ever asked you?
No, not really.
So
she hasn't. So she was right.
But you disregarded it.
No, so I didn't drop out of college.
You passed out of, you did your degree in sociology?
And literature.
Yeah,
double major I did.
Wow. So while you're cooking, you can discuss Chekhov and some tribe in the Andamans.
Correct. So then I graduated from Xavier's. I hated my college life. Like I was like, why am I here? I should be cooking.
But it's a fun college. At least it was in the 90s.
Everyone says it's a fun college. I'm just like, I want to go home. Like I don't want to sit in the foyer and play the guitar. Like it's not a...
Play the guitar, chase girls.
It's not a...
Whatever.
I don't want to chase girls. There are no boys in Xavier.
How dare you?
There are no boys.
It is a marketing ploy on our part that the women are forced to look at us because there are no other boys. Don't you understand?
This is true.
This is the reverse minority status argument I've been fighting for. We keep only 3 boys per class in arts, and then one of them is slightly effeminate. You're left with 2, and before you know it, you don't have to do anything. Don't brush your teeth also. They have no choice. Do mein se ek. That's it.
Yeah, that's true.
So you didn't have a good time in Xavier? Very rare.
Man,
socially, at least it's supposed to be a college. Sociology, maybe not, but socially, yes.
I still haven't collected my mark sheet.
Why? It's in Kalina and you don't go there.
Xavier's is in Colaba.
No, but the mark sheet's in Kalina, no? The final. I had to go to Kalina.
Oh, then...
It's not a joke.
Then I'm definitely not going.
Miss Bing, let me tell you. You have to go towards the north to pick it up.
Then
it's
I
not
really
there.
don't want it. Then, it's fine.
So seriously, not a good time?
No,
didn't
I
make good
didn't.
friends?
Friends were good, but I didn't want to stay after hours and be in college.
What are you saying? We used to go to Mud Island and all that. That was on Gorai Beach and drink ourselves silly in that
Malar
sunlight
also
restaurant.
I hated.
You hated Malar?
Yeah. It was too crowded.
No. Oh, God.
It was raining.
Malar was the only time the watchman let me in without asking for ID. It was so nice because you wore the black shirt.
And then everyone was excited because you could wear shorts in college during Malar.
We could wear shorts in college.
No, we couldn't. We had to wear full only.
I got to make some changes. I'll make some calls later on.
Yeah.
So how sad that you didn't have a good time.
No.
The only good time I can think of was the 5 years in college.
No.
Before and after is rubbish.
My school was a better time, I think.
You think?
Yeah, than college.
Oh, God. Okay, so you saw a psychiatrist, got over this period. Then, okay, so you moved after graduating or not collecting your degree.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I moved to London to Le Cordon Bleu to study.
How long is this Le Cordon Bleu?
It's 9 months, so like a year
9
course.
months. And it's expensive. I know Maria
It is.
Goretti did it.
Yeah.
And it's
She
quite
did it.
expensive because she told
Yeah.
me the rates, and I was like, can't you just hire a chef? I mean, it's cheaper to have 2 cooks at home than go to London and spend all that money. So what do you learn? Just take us through this Cordon Bleu and all the... It's
Yeah.
like,
So I did cuisine and pastry. So you learn.
okay, pastry is
both.
baking.
Yeah.
Huh. And cuisine is?
like hot food.
Do you get
and
Indian food
everything.
and all as part of cuisine, or is it just
Yeah,
continental?
they do teach some Indian food, but it's whatever. Like,
Crap.
It's not. Yeah.
You can teach them back.
Yeah, correct.
Okay.
So, but it's basically French techniques because it's the backbone of cooking.
Because it's got that,
Yeah.
you know...
Yeah,
lean.
it's where, do you know Julia Child? So that's why
Okay, once I'll
learned.
pretend. Yeah.
You should know, na? Julia Child, you know? No.
It just sounds like a good name. Julia
So
Child.
that-
Gordon Greenwich. Richie
So
Richardson.
that's how it's famous.
Who's
also.
Julia Child?
Child. So,
Who's Julia Child?
so she was this American woman who brought French cooking to
How
America.
is she a woman? She's a child. You just said so. Bing! What the hell are you saying? So
Yeah.
she's the American woman who brought?
French cooking to America.
Okay,
So
otherwise
that's how everyone knows the school.
Otherwise they
and-
only had hamburger and pizza.
Correct. So, yeah. So then...
One sec. My Abbas is acting, our producer, like he knows everything. You know Julia Child?
Meryl Streep played her in a movie.
You know Meryl Streep?
Yeah.
Why did you say Meryl Streep? Say, I know Meryl Streep. You could have met halfway.
Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. Back to Miss Bing in a lecture on Le Cordon Bleu. How do you say it?
Le Cordon Bleu.
Le Cordon Bleu.
But I'm saying it the British way. I'm not saying it the French
Please say
way.
it the French way, no?
I can't
say the
say.
Marathi way. Tujhe aiche Le Cordon Bleu.
Yeah.
So, but you feel when you come out of these places, because they've got these big names
Yeah.
and iconic presence and all,
Yeah.
do you feel confident? That
You feel confident when you're
crossed-
there. When you come back here, no one gives a shit.
No, but you've crossed somewhere, now. You've got this Cordon Bleu chap on your head
Yeah,
and all.
yeah.
So did that help?
It helped there. Here.
What the hell?
Yeah, because here everyone's like, "Arey, you seek ke aayi hai, haan, lekin you have to work only then."
I think you got a lot of your father's personality. You can't have a conversation without it going all over the place. No straight answers whatsoever, huh?
Huh. So like here, they're like, "Nahi, still start at the bottom. It doesn't matter."
But that,
what you
come on
studied."
now.
No, but you
can't just come at Cordon Bleu and become head of Taj.
Not head.
So where
but
did you
not
want to be
trainee,
placed?
na.
So, but like, where would they place you?
Trainee.
Okay, so no money, nothing, and back.
Nothing,
So you might as well not done Le Cordon Bleu and
correct,
continued here.
correct.
Wasted 9 months. Okay.
Correct, yeah.
They could say that about my first 2 children also. So where did you go? Where would you work first?
So I worked at a few places in Bombay,
Mm-hmm.
and then I went back to London and worked at 2 restaurants there.
So come on, tell us the details.
No, I don't want to tell.
Please, no, but that's
I
the
don't
story. In the second half, I'll go into all the stuff that you're doing and all that. But we have to know where you actually struggled. So you went to Bombay. Where did you work in Bombay?
Law 15 Cafe in Colaba.
Sounds familiar.
Opposite
The baking
Lings Pavilion,
place.
yeah. But it had food. That cafe has food. So there I worked for like 6 months. That was fine.
Okay.
But
And then, but what did you want to do at that point? You just felt that you're not being used correctly, and that
I
you
felt,
can't grow in these places.
Yeah.
So why go back to London? What was the point there?
Because there you kind of also my diploma made some difference there.
Okay, so they was taken, the
Yeah,
weightage there was much better. Here you're made to be a trainee. As in trainee, you didn't get to go in the kitchen and cook.
You just had to prep.
Oh, so you did all the hard work, cutting. Okay.
Which fair enough.
Then
but
the great MasterChef will come and actually put it in the oven and press play. Unbelievable.
Correct. Yeah. So then I worked in London for like a year in 2 restaurants, which was great. I really enjoyed myself.
While you were in London, do you know if India was touring?
India's always touring, no?
You know interest in cricket?
No interest in sport.
What are you saying? Let me test you about
so
your
this
dad.
first thing that you said,
What is
I
his
didn't know
highest score?
400s.
What is his highest score in Test cricket?
300 and something.
No, you're not 300. Okay, 218, I think. Okay, how many Test centuries? I already told you.
Yeah, I really don't. 4.
Okay.
You said 4.
Very good. Because I said so.
Yeah, I didn't know
Highest score in
this.
Ranji Trophy? Has he captained Mumbai?
Yeah.
Okay, so you know a little bit. You're
Little
not that
bit,
bad.
I know. I'm not
Anything about your
terrible.
grandfather, do you remember?
No. Not stats wise.
Cordon Bleu has just wiped out your memory.
not wiped out. I don't know only.
Okay,
Like
fair
it-
enough, fair
yeah.
enough. Okay, so let's talk about the London restaurants, then we'll take a break and come back and talk about the pop-ups and where you are right now.
Cool.
So, London restaurant, where did you work?
So I worked at, it was a pub called The Empress in Hackney, but it was like a fine dining
What do you
pub.
the pubs give you 5
It was a
dishes, yeah?
fine dining
Oh.
pub it was. So it was,
How do you have a fine
fancy.
dining pub? So they charge a lot more money.
Yeah. and it
And
had
a better crowd will come.
Yeah, and it had 2 rosettes, which is like a thing.
Rosette.
Yeah.
Is that what the spots on the leopard is called?
No. So it's like a
Wine.
like Australia has 2-hat, 3-hat restaurants. So that
Oh,
rosette.
it's a marking. Like 3-star general. Okay.
Like
Did you
that.
know that, Abbas? Don't look away. Rosette is a marking. Okay, fair
So that
enough.
was one of that. And
Did
then
you
I
get
worked,
to cook?
Yeah.
So you made food?
Yeah.
Steak and kidney pie. And what else? Fine dining should be more than that, right?
Yeah. What did I make? Yeah.
Now, Devika, I want to ask you a question. Be honest and tell me because the government is listening. Did you cook beef?
Yes. He's just.
Did you cook pork?
Yes.
Oh my God. Did you ever eat vegetarian food?
Yes.
Good,
Also.
good.
I
That's the
won
right
that.
answer.
No,
That was the
yeah,
answer I was
yeah,
waiting for.
yeah.
Now you're safe, Devika.
Yeah.
You get your pass. I
Yeah.
think we'll take a quick break. We'll come back. What we really want to feature and talk about, of course, is the fact that you've started these pop-ups and also this nouveau way, which you're very much part of, I don't know, a new style of chef and a new style of floating restaurant or whatever you want to call
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
when we come back, Devika. In the meantime, here's Sanjay Manjrekar. As in comes Imran Khan, right arm fast, 2 slips a gully, forward short leg. Manjrekar back and across, leaves the ball alone. Break.
What do we have to do? Welcome to What a Play, you guys. This is the favorite sports podcast of several sports persons such as myself, Dudeja and Mikhail, who also happen to be the hosts.
Yes, you should definitely listen to our podcast for our take and quite a uninformed but hilarious take on sports every
sports.
week. We give out awards, we discuss what happened in the world of sports, and
We take breaks as well.
we come up with jingles and sound effects on the go.
Yeah.
So you should definitely give us an example of a sound effect, Dudeja.
Bolo Matthew Vade.
Yeah, tune in for some of that, bro. You can catch us on the IBM network every Wednesday on the go. On the Wednesday, in the Wednesday. Yeah, Wednesday, What a Player. What a Player W, Wednesday W. Wow.
Or Wednesday.
Wednesday to Wednesday, Vade player, Matthew Vade.
Isn't it very sad? Here we are with Devika. Isn't it very sad?
He's just disappointed.
No. When I know more about your dad than you. I mean, how many times you meet people, strangers actually, and they know more about your father than you do? That's
Very
a little. Now I'm learning.
Very often.
It's almost like a tribute. I'm sure he finds you very eccentric and fun. Yeah. But that's good, actually. You know, it's so easy when you have a powerful personality and famous names and very strong bloodline of sport or whatever, and that you just say, no, that's not my thing. I think that individualism is something great.
And it's like, it doesn't interest me.
Just
It's
wasn't
not
your
like
thing.
I'm like,
Yeah.
I love cricket, but I'm pretending I don't. It's
Correct.
not that. I just
Fair
genuinely
enough.
don't.
There's a brother also, right?
Yeah, there's a
Was he
brother.
into the game at all?
In the beginning, he was, like when he was a little younger,
Yeah.
and then he thought he wasn't good enough, so he quit.
That's
Yeah.
problem of having...
Yeah, my dad thought he was good, but he thought he wasn't. He was a leg spinner.
Really? We need leg spinners here. And
But
now we have
now he's
Kuldeep,
studying in
but
the US, so
left arm. So can he still bowl?
I don't know.
Pointless.
Now he's writing music.
Wow, how sad. Really, I mean, great stuff. Good decision. So he's in one of those Berkeleys in one of those places.
He's at Emory in Atlanta.
Oh, wow. I'll again pretend I know everything about music and music colleges. Does he play instruments as well?
Yeah.
Okay, so he's going to be a full-time musician.
He doesn't want to be.
But your dad is a singer. He's done a cassette as well.
My
He has-
mother's also a singer.
As good as dad?
She's trained classically.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, my dad's not trained.
He's a
but
classical bat, but he's a good Mohammad Rafi, Kishore Kumar, those kind of...
Kishore Kumar, he's a mad
And he's
man.
released at least maybe two albums, as far as I remember.
Yeah, one is Bengali and one was that old...
What was he doing with the Bengali album?
He did a Rabindra Sangeet. Yeah.
How's his accents and all?
I don't know now because I'm not...
Because you don't listen to his music, you don't check his statistics.
No, music I listen. Music I listen.
You just want,
Because he practices
you
at
just
home.
want funding from Bank of Manjrekar. Then you suddenly say, Daddy, well played, Daddy. 4 centuries, all abroad. No mistakes, bat behind the ball, classical. Not like today's.
No idea.
Virender Sehwag playing squash over third man. All right, let's get back to you. Enough of this. The whole show will be about your dad. He's like his ghost is here watching us. So here's the main thing. Now you say you cook European food with local produce. We'll come to that. But you opened a kitchen studio in Lower Parel 3 months ago. What does that mean? What is a kitchen studio?
So it's basically, it's a... Okay.
You've got to explain this because I'm a moron. And I like to ask blatantly because otherwise what's the point of pretending I know?
Okay. So it's a kitchen which also has like a long community table. So like the kitchen and the eating space isn't really...
Same.
Yeah.
So it's a bit like that Bori kitchen. where everybody eats in the house and kind of thing.
Correct, but it's not a house.
I know, but you get that homely
So you can,
atmosphere.
it's not homely, but you can see your food being plated and served, so it's kind of like...
So what is this, more like a takeaway outlet?
No. So I do my pop-ups there now.
Okay.
Earlier I used to like find places and set up tables and chairs. Now they all happen there.
Okay.
And yeah.
So how many people can sit on the bench?
17 people.
But not to be rude, but as a marketing consultant, don't you want more footfall than 17 people?
But if it's a pop-up, then they
everyone
book.
won't be like
no.
Abbas and me, who eat like 7 dishes.
Yeah, but in the pop-up, it's a set menu and they pre-book.
So how do you make money? Because I know another friend of mine who has this picnic. Mumbai picnic or something.
Bombay picnic.
Bombay picnic, and it's like 15, 20 people, 15, 20. How?
So I also do a lot of private events. So this is
like your brand that you're building, and then the private event pays for it.
Yeah, correct.
Okay, so it's like our podcast, and then people call us to do events where we make even less money. But that went wrong for us.
Yeah,
but for you, no.
It went right. Yeah.
So you're saying you're a caterer then? No.
Yeah, but at the space. So they come and we do canapes or we do dinners, and then they use the entire space for their function.
So the idea of having an old-fashioned restaurant with maybe 50, 60 seater or whatever, that is not a thing you want.
It's
because you like this fluidity. You want to keep changing the menu and...
Correct.
Am I right?
Correct. But also it's very expensive to have a restaurant.
But that's why you get partners and financial...
but that's also...
Sanjay Bhai has got a lot of contacts. No. Ravi Bhai will give some money. They'll do something. Mumbai boys are all close.
Yeah, so so it's just and also restaurants are plateauing at this point, I feel.
That's what I'm asking you. Do you guys see the future which we don't see? Because I always think that when you have a name and you have a good product and people are talking about Devika and people are online saying you've got to check her out and all that, the next step is to make it a permanent sort of thing.
Yeah, so which I am planning to do, but I don't want to do like a large, I don't want to start with a large restaurant. I want to start with a really small. So the space that I have right now, I'm planning to...
And you don't want partners? You don't believe in all that?
No.
You're a bit of creative fascist, is it? That you just want full control?
Yes.
No, because that's a big thing going forward. Now, what's the point of having a partner if you're just not going to
correct.
Listen to what they have to say?
Correct, yeah.
I'm married, I understand that situation. So now your speciality, is there a speciality or is it the whole idea is that you want to keep growing? So you try different things.
Cuisine-wise, you mean, na? So currently it's Italian and like Turkish and Israeli.
I love Turkish. What's Israeli food?
So
what they take from the Palestinians?
It's similar.
Sorry. Terrible. I won't.
Don't
forgive
cut
me,
this
please.
now.
Shalom.
Don't cut this
Forgive me,
now.
both parties. Unnecessary. Not necessary. Huh?
Yeah, so it's similar to Turkish. So and I want to go to Israel also. But I've been to Italy, I haven't been to Israel.
Yeah.
So I feel like I don't know if I'm authentic enough with the...
Wow.
Israel.
You think these things have a chance? But, there's the other side in Mumbai especially, which is the end of the day, after all this, they have to come back to butter chicken, biryani, dosa, idli. Tried and tested 17 dishes that we all eat. From veg to non-veg. It's the same roundup.
Correct.
But I know that all these other things are out there, but do you think they're going to grow?
I think they're going to grow.
I love Turkish, for example.
Yeah. So only because, like, all restaurants at this point seem like they all serve the same food. So I feel like you want something that's specially made and with like a lot of care. You know where your ingredients are coming from.
So it's like anything else in the digital world. The custom-made sort of thing, the niche market is the real market now.
Yeah, and
it's almost like you go away from the general market and you actually make a bigger market for yourself by saying, what do you want?
Yeah.
We'll give you this, an experience you've never had before.
Correct. So this started when I came back after working from London and I didn't know what to do because I had worked here and I was like, enough now, I need to do something on my own, but I didn't have enough money to have my own restaurant. So the first pop-up I did was in my living room when my parents were not there.
What are you saying? Without permission?
Yeah.
Wow. Prabhadevi, na?
Yeah.
Somewhere next to my pal Kunal. How close to Milan Rege? Ex-captain? Now selector
V
Mumbai?
close. Very close.
Very close. V close. God. Of course, Sanjay also played in the V. So in a sense, there's a lot of karma coming back here.
Very close.
Very close. Very close.
Yeah. So for 25 people in my living room.
So what do they all say? All the friends and family when you first started, did you sample with all these guys? What was the feedback you got?
So only family and So
but let's face it, these are all sort of discerning tongue tastes and all that. I mean, who's had Israeli food, for example, and all that? So how do you
I
get
started
feedback?
with Italian, which usually a lot of people like, and India is familiar with Italian cuisine. Yeah. So the first one went really well with 25 people, and then I started doing one each month. Then, like, a lot of people started getting in touch with me to do them together, like restaurants and like food brands. So I was doing it for 2 years, but I was doing it out of my home kitchen. So I used to cook at home, carry everything to the place.
But you cook for 20 people and all
Yeah.
that? Wow.
Alone.
And carry it yourself?
Yeah.
You had no friends would help you in this much?
They would. So my friends were like servers and stuff.
This is why you don't like Xavier's. None of them had cars. Is that the problem? It's really sad. Really sad story. So you start there. And I just clarify with us, what the vision is here, because abroad in the West and in other countries, I suppose Japan and Korea, those kind of countries, this whole idea of having your separate floating kitchen is really big, right? And including home chefs coming home, preparing for people, which so you can do the whole thing. Because you can do from there to your area, your studio where you have people coming in, to another space which can be rented out for whatever. Am I right? With this whole thing? And do you think that's more or less going to be the future now?
I think so. I just think like smaller
goes
and
online and looks.
Yeah, and like where you know that special thought has been put into creating the food made for you. I think
and also maybe this generation is tired, unlike ours, of Chinese Mughlai, South Indian, Chinese Mughlai, South Indian. You know, it's just,
for sure.
So and all these pop-ups are successful. You get like whatever house full.
Most of them, yeah.
Or do you lean towards, say, then Italian seems to be getting better market?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, Italian gets better. Japanese does really well. So I went to Japan last year. And
who funds all this?
Huh?
Who funds all this?
This I fund little, and then my family also funds little.
Daddy.
If it's a family holiday, if it's a
बचपन में 4 सेंचुरी
you should have called him only, I don't know why he's called.
बल्ला हाथ में दिल खोल के हिंदुस्तान के लिए.
If you have him on the podcast, you talk about me for the first 20 minutes at least.
I will. Yeah. I'm so sorry I'm a cricket buff, but I'm also a food buff. I'm in awe of you. I think it's fantastic what you're doing, because I love the fact that you're an entrepreneur, that you're actually very bold, which is fabulous. I think all the great people come out of that sort of quality of boldness and just saying, screw it. So what if they did it this way? This is the way I'm going to do it. So, of course, there's lots of failure also, but the point of the matter is that from there we get the pioneers, So I like your style. I think it's fantastic. And I'm just trying to understand. I have 2 young kids. I'm just trying to understand, is the world just changing so fast?
It is.
That they won't go like we will go to Delhi Darbar or this old Leopold or whatever. It just changed completely.
Yeah,
first you have the Zomato revolution, and then you have this.
Yeah.
So this other guy I mentioned, he's also doing these pop-ups. And they seem to be, gathering momentum, and people are saying, and I'm just thinking, you're spending money, you might as well spend money and do something exotic and different.
Correct.
And we're now exposed more and more thanks to MasterChef Australia.
Yes, correct.
There you go. All right. What are workshops?
Workshops are like, I teach cooking.
Okay. So like Cordon Bleu at 1/3 the rate.
Handmade, handmade pasta and stuff like that. Yeah.
But so how long does a workshop take, and who?
It takes like 3 or 4 hours.
Oh, it's just a one-day thing.
Yeah.
And so one dish, you're going to teach one dish in that workshop.
So if it's pasta, then it takes time because you're making the dough and
Oops.
Because you're making the dough and then you're cooking it, and then so it depends. There are 3-course meals.
Actually, you're
also
making the dough because they're paying for it.
Correct.
Very bad. Twice in one minute. 2 of the worst moments in comedy. Yeah.
Yeah.
So you really, what you've done is you're like an all-rounder, to use a cricket phrase. You've got the pop-ups, which I think are the main thing.
Yeah.
You've got the workshops, which also keep you fresh, because you're sort of teaching, learning. And private events, I suppose, where the money could really be made.
Yeah.
Somebody's, Mr. Sharma's 50th anniversary, can't even remember his wife's name.
Yeah.
And so you help him with a huge cake. Urvashi, idiot! Urvashi! It's simple. Done. Okay, and your goal is to open a restaurant before you're 30. Because this is going to be a conventional restaurant.
Yes, but I still want to keep it
How about
like
a changing menu conventional restaurant? Yeah. Is that right? I was right.
How you knew this?
Superb.
He knows me now.
I know you. I've studied all the genetics, 3 generations. Yeah.
He knows me now, yeah. So the current place that I have, I'm planning to...
Is Parel going to be like that? Because
I think it is.
It is the center where all the different foods have come. Only thing, we shoot nearby, and getting in and out of Parel takes us about an hour.
When you're near Elphinstone.
After that bridge collapse thing,
yeah.
They're never going to put another bridge up, That's it. We're done. Maybe we can put food on the bridge, on the place where the bridge was. Okay, but what do you think about all the competition out there? Because now suddenly online, a lot of people are thinking in the same way and trying to make things.
I think because I started this fairly early, I'm kind of like...
One of the names, no doubt.
Which is it happened luckily. Like, I didn't think that would happen. I didn't even know if this would work. But so this pop-up concept is actually called supper clubs in London, which is what gave me the idea. Where like people cook out of their homes and have people. Yeah. And like Jamie Oliver and all also go to those houses if they want authentic food.
Which is also what my good friend, the Bori Kitchen, Mr. Kapadia, Munaf Kapadia is also modeled on that. Yeah.
So that's how it started.
Also, I've noticed a lot of NRIs and foreigners, actual foreigners, non-Indians, they love this exotic thing when they're going online from where they are coming to Mumbai or India. And then they want to locate all these things. They feel they get a better sense of the country and all that.
For sure.
The Chinese Mughlai experience that we already, from the border, we can give you right till Kanyakumari.
Yeah.
Okay, before we wrap up and go into the AMAs, what is your favorite food?
Pasta.
Really?
Yeah. I know it sounds very pedestrian.
It's
but
what we give the kids to shut them up. But after 10 years, you're supposed to stop eating it.
It's really great.
You really like pasta?
I really love it.
Wow, that's amazing. What a generation, really. What's your dad's favorite?
My dad's favorite is the mutton Rogan Josh
Really? But Rogan Josh is made differently everywhere.
in Pakistan.
Oh, God. Hush. How dare you? On my podcast. On my Hindustani podcast. On my patriotic fervor podcast. But he got 200s there. They love him there, for sure. Yeah. And against the best bowling attack I've seen outside the West Indies. With the 2 Ws in Imran.
I agree, Cyrus, with this.
Okay, I'll just ask you one cricketing question. Left arm orthodox, let's just say Ravindra Jadeja. For
I just
no
don't
reason,
understand anything.
is bowling to a right-handed batsman. Where will the ball pitch, his stock ball, and where will it go?
What? Huh?
You know pop-up. You know MasterChef Australia, Gary, Perry and Sari. But you don't know this.
Why should
You know
I
your
know
dad was
this?
also a bit of a leggy. He used to bowl little
No,
leggy,
I
using your
didn't
brother.
know.
No, he bowled leggy as well.
Okay.
He even bowled a few overs in Test match, and I think there were a couple of wickets as well.
Okay.
You must know more about your father.
Why,
Go
but
back and study.
You know.
I'm feeling bad. I'm feeling I should have been his daughter. I feel bad for him. He comes home.
I should have
I'm
been
bench
his
pressing 380 pounds. And I did. All right, but great. Fantastic story. All right, so before 30, you're going to have your own restaurant. What do you call it?
I don't know yet.
Devika's.
Things.
Manjrekar's. Bings is great. Bings is great because you'll always, it's like a cocktail conversation. You'll always get the same reaction.
Yeah.
And lots of because it's bloody playing for the next 40 years as friends.
Yeah.
Never ends, whatever happens.
Yeah.
Okay, future?
You did one show, no?
It's called Hello Friends. You're too young, you wouldn't have seen it. Yeah.
I've heard about it.
Yeah,
You were Chandler, no?
It nearly cost the country.
You were Chandler.
I was Chandler, yeah. You had to check out any copy.
I know.
Oof. Yeah, disaster. Don't mention it. It's very painful. Actually, worse than the American Friends. I can just put it that way. Yeah. But my daughter loves Friends, and she
Even
knows
I
all
love
the.
Friends,
You know, she
yeah?
knows all the dialogues of every episode.
When I
How can you know that?
Because it's a great show.
One day we are sitting and I'm forced to watch it because she and I are alone, and then she just keeps saying the dialogues, and that's even
How
worse.
old is your daughter?
12.
It's a great show, but why don't you like it?
Once. I can't watch it 80,000 times.
Okay, fair enough.
Some of it is really irritating. Yeah, you know, the eyebrows go up, and then it's like old sitcom. And it's too much for me. Plus, the women are. I don't like the women.
Are
They're not good looking. Like Courtney Cox. I don't like thin women. May I be honest?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I like my Rogan Josh, just like Sanjay. I don't want this bloody skinny.
I
But
don't
Courtney
like
Cox is
thin
too
women.
She's too thin. She was fat. I know. She was fat as in the idea in their head. But that's a fat suit for sure.
Yeah.
Or Adnan Sami, you know, when he was younger. Because that was ridiculous what we saw in the
Yeah.
first episode. The flashback.
Yeah.
And then that Jennifer Aniston. But my
No.
daughter idolizes Jennifer Aniston, so she knows everything about her.
Oh.
I didn't even know she was Greek. Origin, the real
Even
name is
I
some
didn't know.
Baku Kalasru Mastos or something. It's huge. You make Greek food.
No, not yet.
When are you going to make Greek food?
Now first you eat Turkish.
Have you made Bulgarian food? Here's my challenge. Can you make Mongolian food?
I can.
I heard Central Asian food can be quite bland. That'll be another challenge. Like Uzbekistan and those areas. What do you think?
I will look into it.
You're losing interest in the conversation. I can see.
No, it's better than the cricket. It's better than
Too
the
much
cricket.
defensive batting. What do you think about the controversies that your dad gets into? He's got 6 million followers on Twitter. But for some reason, he always attracts some controversy and there's some...
We're used to it now.
You pay
He's not allowed to have the Twitter app on his phone.
Typical Indian male. By the time you're 40, you have no power at home. Just see what happens.
Yeah. So how will we keep a roof above our head?
Why? You're doing fine.
Yeah.
Now let daddy rest.
But what about my mother and my brother?
You look after the brother's a musician. What are you worried about? He'll make anti-Donald Trump songs somewhere in Washington, get arrested and sent back.
Yeah, so he's not allowed because sometimes he has sent texts as tweets.
Oh, shoot. As in accidentally or purposely?
Accidentally.
Like, what would it have been?
I don't know.
I'm in the shower. What the heck? What would be the text?
Yeah, so it's just, yeah.
Wow, that's excellent.
So he has to go onto the computer and then tweet if he must.
So last question. What do your parents feel about this whole thing?
About?
Are they very supportive about you as a restaurateur? Talking to him and he was he actually was beaming with
They
pride.
are now. Initially, they tried to do the whole, you're just spoiled, that's why you can't work in these kitchens and you're cribbing. When I was like, it's actually not okay to work like this. But then they're like, okay, we don't
You're
know.
as headstrong as your dad, as someone outside who has a vague idea of his personality and all. Yeah. Which is, he can't say anything to you because that's one quality you have, for good or for worse. You know, either way, I think it works both ways. That headstrongness. 4 days and table is enough for me. I'll start at the top. Shaolin, be damned.
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah, but that's the only way I can function. So if I'm not 100% in it, I can't work hard
I think
enough.
it's fine.
It's
there's
fine,
too
no?
much of this hierarchy going around all the time. I'm
Correct.
spending my whole day telling people, don't call me sir.
Yeah.
You've got to stop all this rubbish.
And
put
ma'am.
and this trainee crap also. You see talent, put him wherever in the right place.
Correct.
That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
In fact, all the great, I think you mentioned Stephen Jobs and these kind of people, Steve Jobs, and they all sort of get the talent and they push them in the right place, and that's how their engine rolls forward. Otherwise, you can wait forever and say, no, yaar, you're junior.
Experience.
What is experience? Poor Tendulkar only played for India. Yeah, you're too young and too short. Wait, there's no point to that.
Yeah.
All right. Fantastic conversation here with Devika. Let me put on my voiceover voice.
Okay.
If you want a voiceover for your pop-ups and all, I'll do it for
done.
you. All right. She's everywhere. You can check her out on the internet. Is there a site?
Instagram there is.
Instagram.
So follow me on Instagram.
What does it say it, no?
Devika.
Devika.
There's a Bing in it, yeah.
Say it now. That's how people remember it easily.
It's at Devika M Bing. M is for Manjrekar.
At Devika M Bing. In case, M, I'll try to explain the M thing. M is in case things go wrong, then daddy has to be called for bailing out. For bailing out purposes. It's just like a bank in America. So M is there, but small. Because for now it's Bing. Because Bing is, you're like a Parsi. You're absolutely nuts. Isn't she absolutely nuts? How can you put Bing in seriousness? I understand as in fun. So you do that in school, college, whatever, going to birthday parties. I understand all that. But she's actually going, looking for business, opportunities and all that. I miss Bing.
I changed it now. I changed it now.
What does your Aadhaar card say?
Manjrekar it says.
Without the Bing?
Yeah.
Let me call up the government, file a complaint.
Yeah.
All right, you cook European food with local produce.
Yeah.
You got pop-ups, you've got workshops where you teach all kinds of things, not just baking, but all kinds of things. And you're always looking to reinvent yourself in a sense.
Correct.
You never get bored. And you don't want to be remembered as a person who makes the best biryani.
Correct.
You want to be remembered as a person who makes different food.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Not one standout dish. One song wonder, so to speak.
Correct.
Okay. What are you thinking?
No, I'm wondering if I have a standout dish. So
Do you have a standout dish? Don't say pasta. I'll kill
No, I
myself.
was going to say Panna Cotta.
Panna Cotta. I'll Google.
Hey, this you don't know?
I
Your
heard
friend
it.
is Kunal and you don't know this?
I don't listen to what he says. He coughs all the time. But Panna Cotta is a sweet dish of some kind.
Yeah. It's a set custard.
Set custard. So like caramel custard but with a fancy name?
No.
Don't say no
I
like
will
that.
not. No.
If I'm hurting your feelings, be honest and open.
You hurt my feelings. I
So
said
just
no.
quickly, last one. What is Panna Cotta?
So it's an Italian set custard. It's set with gelatin. So
Okay.
it's like cooked cream and then are different flavors and then it wobbles. No?
Oh, that.
That one.
Like you see in the
Yeah,
cartoons.
yeah.
Oh, nice. I think I like Panna Cotta. All right. Speaking of Panna Cotta, I've got a little pan in my upper back. If we have to stop this show and go into AMAs, her name is Devika. Her surname is Manjrekar. Sometimes it's Bing. And you can check her out. She'll be all over the place. But right now in Parel, it's called
Pop-ups by Devika.
Pop-ups by Devika.
Yeah.
Sounds erotic.
Does it?
Yeah. Okay. Left arm over the wicket, Wasim Akram, 3 slips, 2 gullies. Waiting in short leg. For Sanjay Manjrekar, who goes back, pushes the ball forward. Akram glovers at him and then picks up the ball and turns. Back to the mark. India, 117 for 2. AMAs.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to another awesome week on the IVM Podcast Network. If you are not following us on social media, please make sure you do. We're IVM Podcast on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. After crossing 10,000 on Instagram a couple of weeks ago, this week we crossed 5,000 followers on Twitter. If you aren't following us on Twitter, please do. Make sure that you see all the cool stuff that we put out there. We do some cool stuff on social media, just generally. You should check it out. This week we are launching a new show called Heal and Hearty. It's hosted by Rashna Chachi, nutritional therapist and certified cancer coach. She helps you understand the right nutrition, exercise, and lifestyle that keep diseases away. Show premieres on Tuesday, 15th October. In case you missed it, do check out our daily policy podcast called All Things Policy. It's hosted by the researchers at the Takshashila Institute who break down complex economic and geopolitical ideas through the lens of current affairs. New episodes are out every single day. It's a fun show. Do check it out. On The Scene and the Unseen, Amit Verma is joined by frequent guest Vivek Kaul. They break down Ponzi schemes in light of the backlash against Oyo. On Feeding 10 Billion, Varun and Ramya are joined by Gauri Devi Dayal. She's the co-founder of The Table, Mac Street Kitchen, and co-host of the Kolaba Cartel. Check that show out if you haven't, but they discuss sustainable dining on this one. On IVM Likes, Abbas, Ritika, and Antariksh talk about their biggest celebrity crushes from the past and present and recommend some films and podcasts that are worth your time. On Know Your Kanun, Amber talks about the Data Protection Act and the need for specific legislation. On Mr. and Mrs. Binge Watch, Janice and Anirudh talk about the Netflix show Unbelievable.
If
Tune in to
you
hear
have
where
any
it ranks
questions
amongst
for
the greatest talk
Cyrus,
shows.
write to us on
On
Facebook,
Paperback,
Twitter, or
Rachita and
Instagram.
Satyajit talk
Or
to the
you can
founder
send an
of the
email to
Positivity Company,
whatcyrussays
Virendra
at
Ahluwalia, about the
gmail.com.
PERMA formula of happiness and how to be more optimistic. It's a crossover episode on the Empowering series as Ratasha Rathore, host of Agla Station Adulthood, joins Arena. She talks about body positivity, adulting problems, and why it is important to inculcate self-love. And with that, let's get on with your show.
right, here AMAs with Abbas and Devika, our chef supreme, who's going to do pop-ups. This guy loves his food. What are the average rates? Is there such a word?
That's very expensive. It's
like
3,000 per person.
3,000 and
for 5 courses.
For 5 courses. So it's like on a special day, Abbas, for you and me. Like wedding or divorce.
What? I can't do the math. How much per course?
600.
600, yeah. So, yeah. By the way, you think Jennifer...
these fancy meals are not going to cost you any less.
Yeah.
Very honestly. Then you have to go back to... I think India is going to be divided by the kind of money you spend on food very, very quickly. Yeah.
You didn't like Jennifer Aniston? She's good enough for Brad Pitt, but you're like, nahi.
I like Sybil Shepherd.
I don't like thin women.
I like strange women. You see my wife?
Sybil Shepherd.
Sybil Shepherd, moonlighting and all.
What is moonlighting?
90s actress.
Can I Google?
Everybody's Googling left, right, and center. How embarrassing. How embarrassing is that? They don't even know who she is.
Sybil Shepherd.
Yeah, I like Jennifer Lopez. I like Latin. I don't know how to explain it. It sounds terrible.
Sybil Shepherd is really old. Did you say that as a joke?
People age. Abbas?
You like her?
But that's now.
Yeah.
I'm
sure if she looks like this now in the 90s, she wasn't like very young. Or was she?
No, she was in her 30s, late 20s, early 30s then. She's now in her late 60s.
Okay.
She wasn't bad. She wasn't bad.
Wasn't bad at all.
But she looks thin.
No. I know what I'm talking about, man. I know what I'm talking about. Anyway, there's 3 girls, and the other one, the ditzy one, what's her name? Phoebe. It gets on my head nerve after some time. Imagine
gets on my nerve.
That stupid song, Dead Cat.
Smelly
Cat. My daughter wants to sing it, when she was young. We'd have to listen to the whole song. And the song is 2 lines. It's like turunk. It goes on, going nowhere. Oh, God, it was very painful. Friends is a lot of painful memories also. Now, Seinfeld, that's comedy. I can see Seinfeld every day. But you watch Seinfeld. That's why you don't like cricket.
This one comes from Kedar Mandkhalikar. Says, hi Cyrus. How important... Mandkhalikar. How important is spelling in English? Do short forms like HVD, HRU...
You can't believe what a perfect question this is for Devika to answer. Because half the time in this interview, she's saying words and acronyms that we don't even know.
Do they bother you? He's asking these.
They don't bother me anymore because I have 2 young kids. But look at her. She came on the show and for half the thing, I don't know what she's saying.
Even I don't know what you were saying.
But do you really talk like that or are you just fooling around?
Actually, I started talking like that ironically.
In England?
No, yeah.
Oh, ironically here.
Because I say that while texting. So
right.
But now it's become a habit.
My God.
I'm not proud of it, but now.
But there are lots of the millennial types who do this, right? I mean, it's just part of the
millennial types. Okay.
Well, we missed the generation.
He says with a look of disdain.
No disdain.
Because you can't see him. I'm telling you.
It's not disdain, it's anger. And I'll explain the anger. I had to sit and learn, cantaloupe. I've never eaten it in my life, but I can spell it perfectly. C-N-T-O-U-L-O-U-P.
Your generation...
L-U-P. Wrong? Marathi Madhi cantaloupe. Damn it. Gujarati ma cantaloupe. One of them is right.
Your generation did the whole dude, bro thing. Came from your generation,
Baba,
right?
No, we didn't have dude. We had
How
bro.
old are you?
Bro was there. I'm 48.
Okay.
Yeah. Like your dad's average. Yeah, she's laughing inside. Try not to
I'm saying your generation had your version of, these...
We had words like butchered up. What goes of your father? Phrases you'll never hear. I hear them once in a while. I feel so happy. Up yours was a proper insult. Nobody ever says up yours anymore. If I say up yours, they're like, what is that?
Too British. Like,
no, but that was the 90s. That's how people abused each other. Butchered up was great. I butchered you, man. Why? I fucking butchered you. Nobody says that. Yeah,
how do you butcher?
If somebody fights with me and says butcher you, I'll go and hug them. I'll be like, just stop fighting. You're my person, man. We're mates at last. These guys with what? OLL, PTT, RRR, TRV.
There's no OLL, there's LOL.
I don't care anymore. Because I had to sit in class and write the spelling if I got it wrong 25 times on a sheet and give it to the friggin' teacher. Okay, they don't have to write it once. They just go online, spell check, duck, it's done. And what do? We spend hours and hours spelling stupid words like cantaloupe, which we don't even eat.
Correct.
I learned a new one last week. Which is like if... basically the term is weird flex, but okay. If you show off... you just say weird flex, but okay.
That makes it okay. It's like a prayer, like Gayatri Mantra. You've said it and it's done. You can't just do that.
I got it from a Reddit board. So anyway, Kedar has another question as well.
So he's the in-between generation. Between you and me, the real morons.
Both of us don't
Absolute
know.
idiots. Somewhere between us. The ones with no brains walk around.
You're 48, she's in her 20s, I'm in my 30s. So
there you
I'm
go,
like
in between.
balancing.
Yeah.
He asks, is a bad joke better than no joke at all?
I don't know. If I judge jokes, I won't have a job. What are you saying? It's terrible.
He said pasta, guys. So
Somebody's good joke is somebody's bad joke.
Yeah.
There.
Bad joke is better than no joke, na?
It's all about when and how.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's really bad joke can be fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a guy falling in front of you, slipping on a banana. It looks stupid in a comic, but it actually happens. It's funny.
There are times though when a joke is in your head and you don't know whether you should say it or just keep it to yourself.
I don't know. It just flows
like
out of my mouth.
Like in a funeral or somewhere.
For me, it always comes out first and then goes in my head.
Okay. This one comes from Anuj Sharma. He says, "Hi Cyrus. Do you think your ex-producer..."
Devika is saying hi to you also. He just doesn't know you're here.
Okay. Hi,
Ex-producer.
Yeah, do you think
Politics.
your ex-producer Naveen actually lied about going abroad and even quit his job for a few days
if he's back
to get out of your show? And
I think
he
so.
asked, do you think Abbas is going to do the same sometime?
But how does he know this?
Naveen is, because he's gay and out of the closet and all that, I think he felt I was coming on to him and there was just a limit to what he could tolerate as a gay man who was being open. And I think that was one of the issues. Secondly, I think he had some dream that he would go to Manila, get a Philippine passport and settle down there and be the greatest comedian of that area. I think he's now back in Bhandup, and the experience is different.
Like back in Bhandup.
Yeah, that's where
he's staying in Bandra actually now.
To Bandra? Yeah. He's doing very well.
With his boyfriend.
Very well.
Yeah, with his boyfriend, nearby only.
Boyfriend is doing well?
Well-ish.
But he's working with us again, right? Naveen, on and
he
off
does
now?
a show with us. He's not fully employed with us, but his stand-up career is also doing pretty well.
He's doing quite well. We're joking about him, but he's gone. He's gone ahead in life, and he'll never look back. Well,
okay, this one.
He may because of
Guys, which Naveen is this?
Naveen Norona.
Who do you know, Naveen? Andrews, the actor.
No?
Who's been on
the
the
actor,
show?
the comedian.
Yeah,
he's completely oval when I was walking my dogs also.
Oh, okay.
Introduced himself, sat on a chair next to me for 5 minutes till I asked him to leave. Lovely guy. Lovely guy.
I thought till you realized he was talking to the dog.
No, I don't know who the hell he was.
Oh.
He just this was many years ago. He'd just come to Bombay. Very sweet guy.
Yeah,
This is Naveen Richard you're talking about.
This is Naveen Richard.
Do you know how many people come and say I'm a comedian or VJ or actor or something?
I'm sure many.
Yeah, so then what do you do? And I'm always over-friendly, so anyone with me is always like, please stop it. Because then, you encourage them.
If they ask you for advice, what do you say?
They don't, they just become friends.
Mm-hmm.
What advice can I get? They ask you for work. Like, can you help me introduce and all that? No, nobody wants your advice. Can you give me a good joke? No, they already think they're better than you. That's not the problem. The problem is, can you introduce me to somebody and open the door and all that? And then when
they just ask you like this.
Yeah, but I only know dogs. So I said, this is what I know. These dogs here. Want to meet Biscuit? Come.
Okay, this next one comes from Hitesh Chaudhary. I don't know why he's asking this question. Hi, Cyrus.
Hi.
I was planning to buy gold for my wife, but the gold rates have drastically increased by 25% since the last 3 months.
They have.
Is it the right time to buy gold
That's
now?
amazing.
Or should I
normally,
wait?
Ganpati onwards till Diwali, you basically have a good run for yourself.
Yeah.
And suddenly this has happened, which is reverse, where the gold has just gone up, skyrocketed.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of people have been complaining to me, a lot of female friends I shouldn't be talking to, have been complaining to me about this gold surge, which is stopping the expenditure, because now's the time to buy, normally.
So that's what he's asking.
Silver.
Is it a good time to buy gold?
Generally, silver is a safer metal. And plus, Indians win more silvers in Olympics
But why is
than
he
gold.
asking Cyrus?
I have no idea.
Because I'm a jeweler. I grew up in Walkeshwar, no? All my friends are jewelers. All without money now, because jewelry market went bust. They're all doing MBAs at 46 and all.
Are you serious?
Yeah. It's like that. Kamlesh bhai, so kare? Studying, yaar.
Okay, let's do 2 more. This one comes from Kunal Rajani. Hi, Cyrus.
He's been on the show. Rajani's surname, I know. I remember.
That's Ronak Rajani, who hasn't been on the show.
No, that's the actor, a comedian. I'm talking about this guy who writes in.
No, this is a guy who's.
But the Rajani surname, because I know the Rajani family, I remember the name.
Okay.
Yeah.
So like, the Manjrekar family.
Big fan.
Kunal Rajani.
Don't mess with cricket with me. I'm very emotionally connected to cricket and old cricketers. Like for Maninder Singh and all,
he's pointing aggressively
I've got into physical fights in bars and all over this, yeah. And people, they don't say Gavaskar properly, I get very angry, for example.
Gavaskar?
Oh, that just drives me mad. The only one who does that, he does it purposely, is our Prime Minister from Pakistan. Who'll say, I'm a big fan of the great Gavaskar. He knows it's Gavaskar. They've been mates in the same room and all. So
I want to hear what Kunal Rajani has to
I got
say.
Sanjay Manjrekar's daughter. I want to shoot the breeze and chat cricket.
Kunal Rajani asks, which film would you choose to remake if the cast is you, Kunal Vijayakar and Arnab Goswami?
Amar Akbar Anthony.
Jaane bhi do yaro.
Amar Akbar Anthony.
Oh, okay.
Akbar will be played by Arnab.
Of course.
God bless.
Okay, let's do one last one.
Well, Devika's not answering anything. You don't give me a chance.
They're all for you, yeah.
But it's all you can answer. What's the big deal?
Okay, this one comes from Niraj Piken.
Hi,
Cyrus. Are you someone who checks out shows on Netflix? Have you seen the second season of Secret Games? What did you think of it?
No, I saw 5 minutes. Didn't like it.
Even same. First episode, I saw 5 minutes and then I turned it off.
Don't make second seasons, yaar. It's very rarely working.
I got very bored.
Yeah, a little predictable also, no?
Also, I felt like once he died in the first season, I didn't want to know more about deeper into his past.
No, it's almost like they didn't have a story, so we'll now go back. This going back is like lazy writing. Also.
Yeah, very, very.
I think the second season they wrote on their own. It's not as based on the book. I think, as the first one.
Anyway, I'm seeing Wu Assassins. Okay, which is...
How is it?
For me, good. Because a lot of people get beaten up. And it's, but my wife makes me shut it. And then I have to watch something about furnitures. And
that guy.
Yeah, that guy. And that,
forgot his name. We've spoken about him before.
I actually understood when they used to have this phrase in books when you were reading as a young guy, they're like as boring as paint drying and all that. It's actually boring because they're showing you walls and you're looking at walls and you're looking at cabinets and I'm like, this can't be my life.
It's comfort TV.
But my wife and Kunal love it. They can just stare at cabinets and walls. I'm like, wow. How can people... unless you're in jail, why would you be happy to stare at walls? Makes no sense. And I got Wu Assassin, I'm thinking with lots of action and 50 people dying per second, and I got to see a bloody wall for half an hour. Do you like that stuff?
Some of it, yes.
Even I quite like. Do you watch Queer Eye?
That's it. We can't be friends. Plus, you don't know your cricket. I can't believe you're a Manjrekar. How can you be Manjrekar? Give me back your name.
Guys,
go back to
he's yelling at me, guys.
There is something called a slow TV, which is essentially just a train ride for 11 hours from Stockholm to wherever in the Nordic countries. And it's just 11 hours, it's just a train
elevator
ride.
Music, exactly.
No, there is no music. There's just...
No, but it's like elevator music. We're supposed to just tone you down and relax you.
That I like watching.
Yeah. No, I like animals. You can give me anything. I can watch animals for now. But what if I have to watch walls and cabinets?
Must be doing something with the walls.
No,
right?
so they explain the handcrafting and all, but it's not interesting. If the bloody knob is round or square, who gives a bloody damn as long as it's not broken?
True.
Right. Thanks, Devika. Devika's walked out, by the way. She's gone to her next pop-up. She's like, I want to see these guys again. Yeah. Favorite Sanjay Manjrekar shot, what would you say?
Yeah, I don't know.
You don't know.
But the M
is there.
He's not believing me. He's still trying to get it out of me. I don't know. I'm sorry.
So you were so young. Did you ever get to watch him bat for India?
I don't remember, but I was there because I was born in 94. He retired in 97.
Okay, so 3 years.
Yeah, but I don't remember.
I think that'll be too much. At 2.5, Devika gives a bother. Hey, Daddy's coming into bed. The fall of the second of the day.
Yeah. No.
All right, cheers, Devika.
Wasn't he an opening batsman?
Oh, he played everywhere because they kept shifting in the middle order batsman.
Okay.
They pushed him everywhere to accommodate
Cyrus
X, Y, and
says.
Z. Yeah, that's a story for another day. Cheers.
Okay.
Follow me at Instagram and Twitter on Bored Brocha. I'm so bored, I need your help. I need your love. I need your touch. Okay, just follow me. Okay, catch us on any of the podcasting apps. Please, we beg you, we need you. Send us your questions on Twitter on Cyrus Says In. Or you can email us, even if you're not female, on whatcyrussays@gmail.com.
Janice, what do you think couples did before TV was invented?
I don't know, go for walks on the beach, long drives, fancy dinners, have more sex maybe?
But what did we do when we decided to move in together? We debated between the Chromecast and the Fire Stick.
We gave up on sleeping early so we could stay up watching true crime shows.
We got ourselves 3 cat babies.
And basically became the cutest couch potatoes around.
Okay then.
In case you guys still haven't got it, we are a TV crazy, Netflix loving, binge watching Mr. and Mrs.
I'm Anirudh Guha.
I'm Janice Sequeira.
And if like us you snort TV for breakfast, lunch and dinner, this is the podcast for you.
Tune in every Thursday on the IVM podcast app or wherever it is that you get your podcast from. This is
Mr.
and Mrs.
Binge Watch.
Hey guys, this is me, Eva Bhatt, your host for the podcast 9XM Soundcast. This podcast is produced by India's largest music network, 9X Media. We have been catering music and you have been enjoying. And now we bring you a podcast where music inspires. Every week, I interact with some of the best minds from the music industry to understand their creative discipline. Every new episode will feature artists who will share inspiring notes from their journey, some valuable tips for budding artists. So do subscribe to the podcast where music inspires. Enjoy a brand new episode of 9XM Soundcast every Tuesday on IVM Podcast app or website or wherever you get your podcasts from.